this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your filler neck tube on your gas tank on your Ford Taurus. It's located behind your rear wheel on the passenger side. All right, so you take your fuse panel cover off. You're going to be taking this relay out. This is the fuel pump relay. All right, so now you're going to crank over the vehicle. Sometimes it starts, sometimes it doesn't. After you've done that, you're going to put your car in neutral. Make sure that your vehicle's supported. Using an 8mm socket or wrench, you're going to disconnect your negative battery terminal. Loosen it, and then put it off to the side. Make sure it's not touching any metal. All right, so now you're going to take off your gas cap. All right, using a 10mm socket, we're going to take off our 3 bolts for the filler neck. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Use a 6mm socket to undo the hose clamp for the filler neck. Make sure you have a drip pan below, just in case. I'm going to loosen that so I can put it on the rubber hose side. All right, using a 10mm socket, you're going to disconnect this bracket. Set that bolt off to the side. All right, for this hose clamp, it's an 8mm socket. I'm going to disconnect this. If you're having a hard time disconnecting the filler neck from the other end, you can always disconnect it from here. All right, so now you want to try to crack loose this hose by twisting it with a pair of channel locks. All right, now that you have that off, you're going to drop down the filler neck. You may have to take the hose off completely, or you can just bend it. At this point, I'm just going to take it off. You can take your filler neck down. like that. All right, so you're gonna feed it up through where the fender liner is. Aim it up towards the hole, and you can let it rest. We are going to connect our filler hose and filler neck. You might have to finagle it a little with the filler neck. You want to get this hose on your filler neck. Make sure your hose clamp is still on the rubber hose. And now you're going to put the hose on the gas tank. All right, once you get that on, we can tighten down those hose clamps. All right. I'm going to use a 6mm for this hose clamp and an 8mm socket for the other hose clamp. That's if you have the same size at home. Do about wrist tight. Now you can connect your line. All right, so when you hear that click, you know it's locked in. So now we're going to put our bolt through the bracket and secure our filler neck using a 10mm socket. And now go up and we'll put the filler neck bolts in. All right, using a 10mm, tighten up this bolt for your filler neck. I'm using a punch to hold the bolt holes lined up. Once you get one started, it's going to get a little easier lining up the holes around the rest. Now move on to your next bolt. And we can take our punch out of there, and we can start our last bolt. Once we get them all in there, we can tighten them down. Once it's snug, just go a quarter of a turn. All right, now you can put your gas cap on. And we're gonna go under the hood and reconnect our relay. Now you're gonna put your fuel relay back in. All right, so now we're gonna put our cover on. You're gonna take your negative battery terminal and put it on. Push it down and use an 8mm socket. And tighten it wrist tight. Make sure it's not moving. You want to make sure that there's no leaks. So look underneath, make sure there's nothing dripping, and take it for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.